Hey, what's up, guys? Siri Emerald here. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. See if we can keep this thing from tumbling over. I don't think it wants to cooperate this morning. Why would it be any different than any other morning, right? Hello. So, update. Spider Noir figure, I think it was called the Dark Spider, made by, I don't remember. Big issue was the figure base. So I had all sorts of ways to try to figure out how to get this thing to work. And at one point, I was going to take this, which I don't remember where it came from. I think it came from the Hall of Armor 3.0 that was made by Toys Box, and put it in the metal crotch grabber and spread this out to make it fit in there, which is great because all the majority of my Spider-Man that are using crotch grabbers, right? So that'd be good. So I'm using my knife to dig this out with, just taking this, just trying to widen it to shove this in there, and I cut into it pretty good. I was like, gosh, you know what? Now that I've cut into it so much, I bet you, like one of you were saying, that this would easily thread in. It never easily threaded in, nothing. There was no way, no matter how much effort I put into it, unless I were to like take lock it into place and lock this into place and literally have them perfectly aligned and then screwed in, and with a ton of pressure into it, would have cut into it, it wouldn't. But after taking and carving that out with the knife, I was able to get this in here, and now it can be screwed in the rest of the way, as was evidently designed by the manufacturer. Just make sure you're getting it in there as is. So after I screwed it in and it made the threads, I decided just to pose him on it instead of using any crotch grabber, and he stands up well. So that's an update on that. Spider-Man definitely needs 2 more Detolf cabinets, no doubt about that. Toys Mafia, good morning, man. Good morning. Welcome to the channel, of course. Jake, how are you? Good morning. Thank you. Martin Regard, Lassen, Denmark. Awesome. Awesome. What else was there? Something else I was working on too. Don't remember. I've not done my upgrade on this yet. It's a firmware update you have to do, plugging it into your computer using the supplied free kit from New Wave. So if you bought one of these and you haven't thrown it on the ground yet and broke it yet, if you bought one of these, you have to update it, the firmware, to make the gosh darn thing work. And it may never work again now. Just a coin door. Robert, how's it going, man? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Or if you're on the other side of the world and you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning, happy Sunday. Those of you in New Zealand, 4 a.m. Sunday. That just blows my mind, man. I cannot get over that. Just a few hours behind, but not 21 hours ahead. SooSoo Toys made this. This is from the Deadpool 2 version of Negasonic Teenage Warhead. When, of course, Rusty calls her Justin Bieber. I love that. That was funny as hell. This is SST number 016. It's their 16th attempt at making toys, and they're getting pretty good. I'm expecting this to be all right. Hot Toys is diminishing their quality standards, which is allowing everybody to catch up for whatever frickin' reason. Nice little box art there. That's a painting done on the cardboard there. Actually, not a painting. It's a printed version of the painting. So I don't know who did that. It's pretty cool, actually. If you're a Brianna, Hildebrand, or Negasonic Teenage Warhead fan, it's pretty nice, actually. I like that. Brightly colored, I love it. This figure was probably less than $200. I don't remember, which is nice. I mean, that's what the figures used to be. They used to be relatively inexpensive and something you could afford to get. Now, gosh, they're pumping over $400, and then they give you crap. So let's see how this does for $200 or whatever. She may have been a lot less. Little wrist peg falling out somewhere. So third-party companies like this, it's an unlicensed product. They didn't get permission. They didn't sign any contracts. They're not paying anybody for this. They're totally stealing the rights or the likenesses of these characters. So they can't call it Negasonic Teenage Warhead. They can't call it Brianna Hildebrand. They cannot call it Emily Peter. I don't remember what her name was. The character in the X-Men universe. But obviously, we know what it is, and that's why we buy it. So, as far as that goes, if Hot Toys or whomever owned the rights to these would make them, then there would be no need for these. And we're starting to see them slowly crank out stuff that they didn't make in time, and like Cable, for instance, and Miles Morales, for instance, where, you know, they're sitting on these forever, and a third-party company is able to make a prototype, promote the prototype, distribute the prototype, or distribute the finished product, and Hot Toys still hasn't even released a prototype on this stupid thing. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if truthfully licensing is that bad or what. So and you know what? This is the same style figure base as the Dark Spider was. Was Dark Spider SooSoo Toys also? Or SooSoo? Maybe it's SooSoo Toys. It's SooSoo. Maybe it's SooSoo Toys. But it's the same base, only this piece here is different. And this is the crotch grabber. Fits in there nicely. They should have done this with Dark Spider. If this is the same company, this is what they should have done right there. That would have solved it. But I guess they wanted to give you an articulated figure base pole to be able to put your Spider-Man figure into Spider-Man action poses. So these wrist pegs are smaller, female hands. So keep that in mind if you're going to be customizing this character. And just initial looking at this, I don't remember how mature Brianna Hildebrand is/was in this scene, but those are some mature hips. Okay, so you may actually be looking into changing the body out for a thinner one. Again, I don't remember her shape or her size. So if one of y'all want to look that up for me and tell me whether or not she has the hips, if this is a properly proportioned figure of this. And even so, looking at this, as bulky as she appears, possibly with a fat suit under here, and there's a fat suit in here, makes her head look really small. Okay, so the representation of the product is there. Maybe she really is shaped in this manner, and this may be a 100% dead on likeness of her, or it may be something that you would need to consider kit bashing and removing the suit and putting it onto a different body. I don't know at this point. I didn't do enough of my due diligence and homework to be able to tell you truthfully on this until looking at this. The belt is not attached to the suit. The suit's put on by a zipper, so it can easily be removed. The zipper in the front appears to be, trying to see if it's aesthetic or functional. The zipper moves, and I can't tell if there's a hook at the top of that or if it's sewn together there at her neck, but the zipper does come down. Whether or not that would be beneficial in regards to removing her outfit to put her into a different body. The head looks pretty good. I mean, looking at her, I know who I'm supposed to be looking at. Okay. I would have also have liked for someone to have made the Deadpool 1 version of her, the first Deadpool, where she had the Sinead O'Connor look. And now that I'm thinking back, maybe I think her hips are pretty wide. So we may be on the right target here. The color of the black on the forearms is a navy blue. So same here at the shoulders. This isn't black. That's navy blue, and this is navy blue. So I don't know if she's supposed to be entirely black or those areas are supposed to be blue, but they're definitely blue in this suit. And again, this is not a licensed product. Nobody signed off on this at Marvel or anywhere. Fox, Disney, nobody signed off on this. Nobody gave them the authority to manufacture this. So whatever you get out of it is pure bonus in that regards, because it's more or less a fan company making products for fans, if you want to look at it that way. And that's the same way I want to refer to the Hot Toys in regards to them not cranking figures out. By golly, when you sit there and have to wait over a year for something to be delivered to you that you've already paid for, Hot Toys could do the exact same thing. They don't have to make 10,000 of the gosh darn things to turn a profit. Spend your 2 weeks crafting out your prototype, throw it up on the internet, see how many bite. If you get 50 people to bite it, well, then you know what your run is. All right? You're charging freaking $400 a piece for these things that cost less than $50 in plastic and paper and cloth to manufacture. So don't tell me that $350 isn't going to give you enough profit on making 50 of these or however many little limited run you have to make in order to do it right. And spend the time. So it's impossible for me to believe for 1 second that Hot Toys can't just manufacture every freaking one of these that they want to sell and not be overstaffed or overstocked on these and not able to sell them at this point in the game. They're not making them in 2 weeks and sending them out to you in a month. You're not getting the gosh darn thing. You're not ordering it on January 23rd and it being delivered to your house by March. When these pre-orders come up, we're looking at 2023 now on figures. 2 years away. So don't tell me that during that time frame you can't accidentally fall into making a figure and doing it right and making the number that gets to be done. Now, at the same token, I don't have $400 to buy every single figure that comes out. You end up missing out on some figures. But, you know, if anybody wants to complain about, well, blah, 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 or whatever, yeah, just keep in mind they didn't crank it out in the first place. So that's my rant and rave about that, for whatever that's worth. That's how she stands up without this. She stands up well, stiff figure, nothing is loose. Okay. But like I said, this may be something that you're planning on kit bashing. However, I really don't see any problem with this if this is her figure. Okay. There is a fat suit in there. Maybe the fat suit may need to be removed. I don't know. Maybe the head is a little too small. I don't know. I don't have a picture of Brianna to compare it to. This may be a dead-on representation as well. So we've got a couple of fists here. These fists come real easily off of this wrist peg. One thing I've always, my opinion in regards to these, when you're changing out the fist pegs, if the peg stays in the arm, leave it in the arm, don't be trying to take it out. If it stays in the hand, same thing, leave it in the hand, don't try to take it out. So if I were to pull this and this wrist peg was stuck in this hand, then I would have used this guy to put a new one in there, because this is tight and I don't want to loosen that, and this is loose, so might as well just use whatever you have. So obviously you have two fists, and they're not a holding fist. There's no hole in them. You're not putting a a metal bar or spider web slinging or anything in that fist. You have the classic middle finger that she loves to give out. And there it is. That's nice. That's on her left hand there. You can have her give the middle finger. And if that's not good enough, you can give her the double middle finger because you have one for the right hand too. So you can give her the double middle finger. Was not Star-Lord that did that in the Avengers and Infinity War? And then we have two relaxed hands as well. So either she's fisted up or relaxed or giving you the finger. Not much in regards to accessories as far as that goes, but really, what more does she do? She powers up and she hits you with everything she has. And you're able to represent this with these little yellow effects. And on these, it's just a matter of figuring out what's the best way to put them on there. You'll see all sorts of different posers and the prototypes and different things on how people have put these on their different figures, and I've never gotten them ever to fit anywhere close to how anybody else has ever done it specifically. So you'll just mess with these and you'll eventually find something that kind of works, but there's some nice ones here in regards to things, so you can get a pretty good example of how you want to show her powering up her thing. And holy cow, we're going to be done with this video so fast. I'm going to have to crank open something else. I've got the old soldier and I've got Spider-Man. I think I'll do the old soldier. No, I don't want to open up my Spider-Man yet. I thought I was going to open Spider-Man up, and then I realized that I had put Negasonic Teenage Warhead on here. So, but these would be just real simple. Wherever they're supposed to go, however they're supposed to be put, however they're supposed to be used, and maybe reference the movies or some of the other the prototype images on how they put them on there. But obviously, there's a hole that you can hang something on. And again, I'm sorry, I don't know where they're even supposed to go. Put them up on the shoulders. I have no idea. But there's obviously a big hole in every single one of them that you can wrap something around anywhere, feet or wherever it is that she's getting her power from to hit you. Justin Bieber, says Rusty. I haven't seen a Rusty figure yet. I was really hoping to get a Rusty. Yeah. Am I backwards on these? I am, aren't I? No, I'm not. Thumbs out. The yellow is yellow. Not the same shade yellow here on the base. More of an orange in it. This looks like a construction tool yellow, and that is yellow. And this is kind of a lemon yellow, like a lemon meringue pie or something to that effect. So the three shades of yellow that you have with this figure are represented here. So yellow, straight up primary color yellow, lemon pie yellow, and construction worker tool yellow. So this works. I mean, straight up, this works. Where's Yukio, right? All the supporting characters really makes it more of a story as you're displaying your figures around, and she will be a welcome addition to the Deadpool storyline. And I'm just going to get the old soldier out here. That just went way too fast. Let's get the head sculpt up close. Thanks for asking, Robert. Sorry about that. I can see who it's supposed to be. There's no question about that. I get it. I don't look at this and think, oh, it's Angelina Jolie. No, it definitely looks like what I remember Brianna Hildebrand to look like. Like I said, the head appears a little skinny only because the body is a little mature, and maybe the body is supposed to be as such. But it works for me. Okay. And maybe switching over to a skinnier Fison is the way to go, but I don't think that that's the case. I'm thinking this is probably where it is. And without looking at actual photos from the movie or of the actress herself specifically, I can't really give a full-on truthful answer in regards to the reality of how much so she looks. But maybe this will help you make the decision. And it looks good. Let's see what post is on here. Yeah, it's a regular size post, so not one of the weird ones you have to do anything special to. So swapping her out would be easy. A lot of neck there. And again, I don't know whether or not she has a long neck. It doesn't appear to be out of proportion in that regards. It feels right looking at it. You know what I mean? I don't feel like they've ripped me off totally and just made something that wasn't there. So the boots, they've made this action, which is going to give you the posability of being able to put her into the superhero landing or however you wish to do that. And that's the question. Do you make a boot that can't be posed, or do you make this action here? And this works good. When it's down, it works. You know what I mean? It looks like it should. There's no question about what that's supposed to be. And maybe she's not wearing boots. Maybe she really is wearing shoes with this thing wrapped around her calf. Who knows? Got a little zipper on the inside of it there, right? It's not a real zipper. It's just crafted into it. It's molded into the plastic. So it works. And it's just a traditional body. So you can get her into whatever poses. And this is a cloth. So, and I don't hear any pulling or anything. Speaking of Nebula. Nebula, if you remember, her crotch is way down here when they put the pants on there. So I had to resolve that. So we'll talk about that since we were just referencing a similar area with this. Nebula appeared to be out of whack because of how they had her suit fitting on her. So what I did was I worked it a little bit. Where are you at? And you have to remember, Karen is tall. She's like 5'11", which is a tall woman. That is a very tall woman. And they had this material all the way down here. So I just slowly started pushing it up, and there's a definite line here where the top of this boot and this suit goes. But I just kept shoving it, kept shoving it up, and then bending her, pulling her legs apart to force the material up. Also, oh my God, getting this holster on these hooks, 10 minutes easily, at least, just to hang this on there. The way that I ended up doing it was holding her upside down as such, which caused the hooks to hang in that manner, pulling the little hooks that they have here on this holster up. It would have been nicer if they put some metal or something in there to make them stay in that position, and then doing the front one first and then the back one second, because the back one was stiffer than the front one, and it was work. There's no doubt about it. But I've got this up in her crotch now where it should be, so it appears a lot better in regards to the proportionate size of the figure. And then of course by using the crotch grabber as well is going to help keep that material up there. But in the process of shoving it up, okay, and just spreading her legs out, which also forces the material up, I got it to fit better on her in that, and I'm pleased with the proportion of her with all of that being done to the figure to get her there. And here you can see the size difference between Brianna and Karen. Now, of course, Karen has a little bit of heel on, but they did a good job making Karen tall. She's 5'11". I don't know how tall Brianna Hildebrand is, but I don't believe for 1 second she's 5'11". We're definitely getting that here with this figure. So I'm very pleased with my Nebula. I think they did a good job with her, considering the crap that they're making of late. And all I had to do was to proportion the legs. Some people had said that they felt that the chest area was incorrect, but it's because of this high collar, shoulder clothing material that they have on here. Just gives that appearance that everything is out of whack. But no, she's good. She's good. And the only thing I wish I bought 2 of these, and I imagine you can still probably pick one up, and made the gold here. And also, if I remember, in the older ones, didn't she have a sleeve on? So this is like the last. This is different than all the movies. This is specifically to a movie, and she was in so many of them. It would have been nice to be able to get the other variants of that. She's a villain. She's a good guy. She's a female character, so she fits some collectors in regards to their specificity of what they collect. Whereas I collect anything, but no, I'm mostly Marvel, mostly MCU. This is obviously Fox, which is now also Disney, part of the Marvel Disney umbrella. So we'll see how that continues to go with that. Got one toe up, one toe down, so that's why she's wanting to mess around, because I've mucked with her when she was just standing perfectly fine earlier. Tomorrow, the trailer for Godzilla versus King Kong hits. Nice. Top of the morning, Johnny. How's it going, man? How's it going? Still sleeping. Might go back to sleep. Yeah, I know that feeling. Woke at 3 a.m. thinking I'm getting ready for work. Oh, man, what a waste. She does look thick. I agree. Wondering if she was in any other movies. Brianna Hildebrand? Isn't she a famous actress? Wondering if she's smaller than Deadpool. Of course she's smaller than Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds in real life is like 6 foot something. He's tall. Super tiny buttons with Bond tuxedos. Oh yeah. It's funny when you buy these these figures and they come with the little bitty buttons for stuff. You're like, what the hell am I ever going to do with this? And then one day all of a sudden you realize your button's missing. You're like, well, now I know what I should have been doing with that. So here we are, another third-party figure. So this, they actually, I don't know why. It came shipped to me in 2 separate boxes, and I don't remember ordering this separately. Maybe it was a separate thing, but this heavy ass park bench. This thing weighs a freaking ton. That was included with it. Came in its own box, shipped separately, and still the figure was under $200. This thing weighs a freaking ton. So I don't know what it weighs exactly. It's heavy. It's solid. And I don't know if it's a true 1/6 scale. It appears to be massive. But maybe it is 1/6 scale. But it's just a bench evidently that he was sitting on. And I don't remember what the bench was that he was sitting on, whether it was like a Forrest Gump style bench or whether it was a monument style bench. But this is the bench that they include for this, because that's where the character is revealed to us in the movie after Endgame. And this is made by Minifigure. And I think I bought this from 1/6 Kit, but any of these third-party manufacturers will be selling it. The box is a little crushed, customized by UPS. Thank you very much for that. Customization on that, so I have a very unique box that does not look like yours if you were to buy this yourself. I love it when they do that. They put their own personal touch to it. So it's funny whenever you see these in this foam. I mean, that was the way even Hot Toys did them back in the day before doing these plastic pieces. And sometimes I actually prefer this over that. Now, yeah, this degrades over time and falls apart and gets all mucky and whatever else, but I don't know. It's funny that they took his feet off to put him in the box. True story. Back in the days of the old times, if you didn't fit the casket, it was not unheard of to remove the feet to get you into a casket. What do you think of that? So I don't like these specific crotch grabbers. Everyone that I've had, eventually what happens is this separates. The front from the back separates along that seam, and it just breaks open, and I'm having to tape it or glue it to get it to hold in there. So these are old school style. I have enough of this style well, not necessarily, well, I have a lot of these, but they're changing them over to like the little rectangular shaped ones. It would be no problem of using any other one to go in there. It's this fitment there is how it fits into that. So should this ever go bad, I have the other, but these have a problem. I've not seen one yet that didn't just crack open right along that seam there. Maybe that's why they switched over to the square ones. One thing people said they wished that they had actually done, since then I've changed my opinion, was, and I kind of agreed at first, was that they should have had the old soldier played by Stan Lee, and kind of figure out a way of putting that into the storyline that all these times Stan was showing up. It was Captain America watching the group or whatever, but no, I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad it was still done by Chris Evans. Here's his little filthy old shoes, his old man shoes. Looking at it, kind of looks like the New Balance emblem. I don't know if that's an emblem specific or if it's supposed to be like New Balance. I don't know. I'm a sneaker fan, but I'm a Nike Cortez Classic fan. A lot of Nike Cortez Classics. Love my Nike Cortez Classic. My Forrest Gumps. All right. So we have loose joints here. Okay. And what do you expect for cheap, right? So he's not going to be doing any standing on his own. Thank God they gave us a park bench. He's got a checkered shirt on. Full-on blue checkered shirt, sweater vest, and his old man jacket, which zips up, functioning zippers on both. Elastic waist, real elastic waist at the bottom of the jacket. Nice touch. His wedding band on there, because obviously we know that he married his love. And a pinky ring. What's the story on that? Anybody? I don't know. Maybe one of you do. What's the pinky ring for? There's obviously a reason that it's on there. I don't know. Does this look like an old man Chris Evans? Is the question now. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe it does. This is one of those figures that you're going to buy because you want them for your collection. You know, nobody else is going to come in here who's not a fan of the show and be like, oh my God, you've got Captain America when he's like 90 years old. Unless they're a fan, you know? The average person that happens to stumble into your collection room or lucky enough to see your private collection, which, believe it or not too many people ever get to see these in person, you know? We spend hundreds of dollars a piece on these things and no one ever gets to see them. We really don't like people in our house, do we? So it's a very private and intimate moment when you're sharing this with somebody. And if they are familiar with the figures, then yeah, they're like the characters. They're like in heaven. Oh my God, you've got the so-and-so with the double X version of the extra piece, the special edition. I love it. I love that. I wish I had that. I couldn't track that down. How long have you had that? Did you get that new? Was it one of your holy grails? Were you happy to have it? And the other ones were like, so what is this supposed to be? You got an old man? You got an old man. You bought an old man figure? Really? You wanted an old man figure. That's what you bought. Really? An old man. Some people get it. Some people don't. We get it. That's why we buy it, right? Love the custom work on this box, man. This is great. It's textured where the wrinkles are. It's fantastic. I know you guys are like really wishing that your box comes custom like this. It makes it so special. I never display my box art anyhow. All my boxes are in their cardboard shippers in the garage. Traditional old standard, regular old oval base. Got a million of these, no name on it. What are they going to put? Old man? Old soldier? We know it is. It's Captain America. Fits in there nicely. Does what it's supposed to do. I'm getting to the point that I really want to see this in here. He'll stand on his own. Let's put the crotch grabber up here. This is what I want to see. We all know what this is. It feels like it's metal. I like the case. Now, it doesn't look exactly like the case I remember. I thought the case was a little more shieldy shape instead of just like a moon pie. That's what the size of this is a moon pie. If you ever had a moon pie. Bench looks like the same one Professor Hulk threw. Remind me that scene. Which bench, by the way, is regular sized man sitting on when Sam comes up there and sees him sitting on there trying to enjoy his tacos. Is that the same bench also? We have a metal shield. We have a display base for the metal shield. Now, I don't have enough of the Captain Americas to tell you what shield this is supposed to be, whether this is a one-off or a copy from what movie or generation shield this is. You have the elastic inside there to put it on, and these shields can be pretty fun to do that when you have just that holding it. But there's a lot of elastic pieces. One of these straps is an elastic band, so I don't know if you could put it in different areas or not, but you do have that ability in regards to all those elastic straps there. This is die cast. This is heavy. Okay. Now the paint app on it isn't all that great. And again, I don't know which movie this would be from. Some of you Captain America guys probably know exactly which this is supposed to represent. I know Cap's had a lot of shields in the movies, and I love Captain America. I just haven't paid that much attention to him to be able to look at this and say, oh yeah, this is a Generation 1 Captain America shield, or this is from Winter Soldier, or wherever this is supposed to be. I don't know. But there's lots of shields that Cap has used. It's nice that this is die cast instead of plastic. But no, I don't think the paint app is done as well as it could. But then again, these shields could cost like, I don't know, you can buy these shields by themselves and they're not cheap. So considering the entire figure and everything, including the shield and the bench, is around $200 or whatever. I mean, how can you really complain in that regards? But for instance, right here, this blue meets the red. You can see the paint doesn't necessarily match up properly. So I don't know if it's hand painted or what, and it doesn't feel finished. It could use a few more works of sandpaper, fine grit sandpaper to make it smooth. It's rough. So from the paint application on it, it's not from the manufacturing of the aluminum or die-cast metal or whatever this is manufactured out of. The underside is nice and smooth and done well, but it's not finished. Okay, it's not a finished product. And hell, it may not be metal. I'm thinking it's metal, but it may be heavy resin. It's definitely something heavy. It's not plastic at all, but it's got weight to it, no doubt about it. There's a ring. That's definite ring. I'm assuming it's metal. And it looks great. I mean, the few Captain Americas that I have, very pleased with them. I am probably going to put Captain America on my Holy Grail list of figures to collect, and track them all down. I have no problem with Captain America. I just never chased them all down just like Black Widow. Cardboard inside of this. Opens up all the way as such. And of course he gave this to Sam, the Falcon, right? To carry on the legacy. A multi-bench. After Black Widow died. Let's have a look at this display stand for the don't know exactly. I'm assuming, looking at the cutout on this, that this attaches as such. Okay, and then I'm going to assume that we would put this in here, and there you go. That's nice. I don't have any way of displaying the shields, but that turns out pretty good. That's a good way of displaying the shield. And like I said, there's many Captain America shields, and you Captain America collectors out there know that. The black ones, the blue ones, the silver ones, the destroyed ones, the Black Panther ones, the bright and shiny ones, the metal ones, the plastic ones. And so you can do a whole thing on just the shields for Captain America. So that's a nice little display stand there. Because we don't really see him wielding the shield. So we got two relaxed hands, and we have what could easily be used as shield holding hands. This is literally just on the left hand a grasping, full-on grasping hand, and the right hand would kind of be a trigger finger hand, if you will. But either one of these could be used to hold the shield as such, should you decide to put him holding the shield. But I think he just presents it to Sam in this, doesn't he? I don't know if he pulls it out or not. I really don't. Sorry. but it was a big scene in the movie, and especially for Captain America fans, right? So it looks like sitting on the bench. He's really loose. I mean, it's a third-party toy. You know, they bought this just as whatever figure they have laying around. So he's loose. If you want to kit bash him, obviously the entire clothing outfit will come clean off. And it is a head and neck integrated for that, should you decide you're going to kit bash him. Got some of the blonde coming through on the gray. I like the color fading there. Definitely looks like an old man. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So this would have been, what year did this take place? 2025? And obviously he aged naturally, which the serum he had taken pretty much kept him from aging, right? So he was able to change something. And I guess he was 18 years old when he tried to join the war. When was that, 44? That would have been the time he would have gone in. So that would have made him, if he was 18 and 44, he would have been born in 26. So he'd been 100 years old in 2025. Isn't that when Endgame takes place? 2025? 100 years old, Captain America. Is that right? Is my math correct? Just pulling numbers off the top of my head. The bench looks good with him sitting on it. Appears to be a good size. Maybe put your Stan Lee next to him, sitting on the bench. Huh? Is this how it was? I don't remember. But he looks good on there. The bench fits his butt. He doesn't appear to be oversized. The bench doesn't appear to be undersized. With him sitting on it, aesthetically, it looks as it should. My brain accepts it as him sitting on the bench properly. I like it. And no, I was totally caught off guard at that scene. Didn't expect that at all. Well played. How they did that. So bam, we went through 2 figures in 40, 50 minutes. Holy smokes. I don't want to go through my Iron Spider because I got nothing in the mail. Although I've got everything in the world coming. What do you guys want to talk about? Or you want to wrap it up? Make it an early show? Cut y'all loose. What do we got here? I got the Fison 07 with head, stand, and bikini. Yeah, 2 days ago. The nipples are different from each other. Interesting. And the feet are not so well made. Really? Other than that, she is fine. The vag is the best I've seen. Good. Nice. The in-game Captain America is about to be released in Hong Kong. Is that the one from like the retro one? That one, the 2012 one or whatever? Really can't wait for the in-game Cap. Which one? I mean, which one are you talking about? Is that the one we're talking about where it's like the double figure, which is the same one from the 2012 Avengers movie? Is that which one it is? Help me out. But yeah, no, I've really Captain America and Black Widow have become figures that I have now decided I need to buy all the other ones, the ones that I missed, for fact. And I'm gonna be tracking down some of these Captain Americas and these black widows. And some of the black widows I've seen are not well. Time did not do them well, which is sad. And so that's the good thing in regards to some of the re-releases that they make. At least you would hope then in the re-release they fix some of the problems of things that are going wrong and bad with them, right? So I think this is going to be a short show, man. I've really got nothing else going on. We can talk about anything, go over any of the figures that we have. Maybe give you a quick room tour if you're interested. It's really your show, you guys. You direct it. Drink my coffee. Oh, I'll wait for the video lag to catch up some chat that you might be typing. My wife as well. She had a fistula installed. That's a hell of a surgery. Looks like looks like she got eaten by a shark, man. It's cut like this huge scar, nasty, gnarly scar right here, and put this thing in there for home dialysis, which is supposed to pump the blood. Now, here's the problem: because every muscle in my wife's body was affected by her cardiac arrest, and everything is just is not as strong as it was. Her blood's not pumping properly to her hand now, so she's lost all sensation in her hand, and and it's discolored a little bit because the blood now is not flowing there because the fistula is pumping the blood back up in here, and it's where you would plug into the dialysis unit for a home dialysis in order to remove the waste from her body that her body's not properly disposing of. So we've seen the vascular surgeon twice after her surgery, and the bad news is if the blood doesn't start flowing to the hand, and that's how she's lost a feeling in her hand, is from the lack of blood to it, not from a nerve that's been severed. And because evidently if there's no blood in you, you're also not getting any sensation. So they're going to have to remove this fistula that they installed. And she's got a scar that, man, that would be a great story scar. You know what I mean? It's just nah. It's not a nice, cute little straight. It's like that somebody just took a butter knife and just carved right through there, man. It's awesome. It's a hell of a scar, man. But anyhow, if that doesn't work, then they'll have to go with a catheter that's attached into her belly in that regards. So that's what's going on with her. She's got no feeling in her left hand, and I can relate to that because I've lost all feeling in my entire body at one point, and Kick-Ass ain't got shit on me in that regards. So room tour. Yeah, okay. Did you hear about the new Star Trek figures? No. Who's making those collectible sessions? QMX. Then she's fretting over it. Bought her a heating pad last night because, of course, your blood is what keeps you warm, and your extremities are the last place that your body pumps blood to. Remember Batman, where we're told that you keep your chest warm and your body will take care of your extremities. Don't worry about your extremities. Worry about your chest. Well, she's not getting blood here, so her hand is freezing cold. So I bought her a heating pad, but she keeps on. She's wearing a glove to try to keep it warm. And the bad thing about this, if this goes south, if it goes sour, this hand could actually shrivel up and turn black like a frostbite hand, and that's not the goal, obviously. So it is something that they have to keep an eye on. But no, because everything in her body was affected by the cardiac arrest, where she was without oxygen to her brain for between 10 and 20 minutes. Everything is just really depreciated in that regards. She's not pumping enough blood from her heart. She got low blood pressure, and on top of that, she has an atrial fibrillation where that portion of her heart beats at a different speed and an erratic speed compared to the rest of the heart that wants to beat at a proper thing. The other one's not doing it, so it'll go from like 60 beats to 180 beats to 50 beats to 120 to 105, and it just continually changes how fast it's beating the blood through the heart. And what that causes you to do is it causes blood clots, it can cause all sorts of things because nothing's in sync, because it's supposed to be a properly working fine-tuned automobile. The tops to the bottoms and everything's supposed to pump and move the blood in the proper areas, and when it's not pumping at the right speeds, then you have a problem there too. So these are all things that come about. Sometimes it just happens from natural aging, but a lot of this just came from that event, and it's been a real heavy battle for her in that regards. And so I share with you guys because it's a learning experience for me as well. These are, unless you've gone to medical school or studied these things, you may hear these terms but have absolutely no idea what they really mean. And then when all of a sudden it happens to your loved one, you learn real quick what they mean. And you guys have been so thoughtful and caring for myself and my wife in regards to things. So I share with you about that. So thank you very much for letting me talk about it, because sometimes I need to talk about it as well. So we got plenty of time to do a room tour. I'm definitely all up for that. We'll get that going. Kibash Sam and Bucky, yeah, for fact. Thank you very much, CBS Sci-Fi. And I love my Picard. Thank you for the Picard. Thank you. I love my QMX Picard. No more QMX for Nanjin. What's your top 5 in your collection? We can talk about that. Sucks really wanted an Admiral Kirk. Yeah, me too. Maybe with the new company. They started with First Contact Data, really. Well, which company is it again? Which company is it? Who's making it? Because QMX has been making the Star Trek figures. So you're telling me QMX doesn't make them anymore? Is that what's going on? So I'm not going to do both rooms. I'm just going to do what we got here. Forehead of Security. Seeing it raw, man, this is not prepared for anything. So right up here we have Deadpool, right? The tank, Juggernaut, Venom Pool, Deadpool from Deadpool 2. He's got his brick cable back there. Right, put Forrest Gump next to Cap. There you go. Hulkbuster 2 with the Veronica back there. And the Spidey dead toss. Mark 47. So Robert Downey Jr. has been removed from the IMDb cast list for Black Widow. And he was on there before, so I don't know whether or not they did that because it's going to be a surprise, or he's not going to be in it at all. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. We've been waiting for Black Widow for frickin' year. Hopefully she's supposed to be coming out soon, right? Papers from the unboxing this morning. Xsuit Spidey with the Peter Nim head sculpt of the PlayStation video game Peter. Got Miles back there. Gwen. Spider Noir from the PlayStation 4. Down there we have the Poison, the Venom. I love that figure. And the Electro. $50 I got that brand new from Big Bad Toy Store. Sentinel re-edit. Iron Spider down there. Underoos Spidey. I need to buy him some Underoos. Black Suit, $20.99. Spider Punk. This is a who made that? Crazy Toys, I think. Hulk. I don't have a Hot Toys Avengers Hulk. And there's Bruce. I don't know why he's turned so. Sorry about that, Bruce. An unloved figure. Nobody ever buys the Bruce. You gotta have Bruce, man. Got Ant-Man back there hiding out. This little baby Ant-Man. Where they at? Nick Fury from Winter Soldier, right? Ronin. Maria Hill. Gotta love her. New Avenger Scarlet Witch. Glad I picked that up. The only Vision they ever made. Right there. And that is Black Panther with the third-party head sculpt, which looks great. And there's Captain America with his beard. And the very disappointing Black Widow from Avengers Infinity War. I've seen a customizer that really did her hair properly. And I don't know if she charges for that or something I'd have to attempt myself, but I'm certainly scared to death to attempt it. I never got the Infinity War Bucky. That's my only Bucky that I have. And we have the Winter Soldier Falcon back there. The most current War Machine Rhodey back there, number 6, I believe. And Rocket holding the Infinity Gauntlet. Doctor Strange from the first Doctor Strange movie. I've got the arms to go on there. I've had to custom that hand because he didn't come with that hand, and that's the proper way of him holding his fingers to cast incantations he does. Yondu, got him hanging out with Guardians there. With additional, I bought 2 of those Yondus so I could have them with the upgraded Mohawk and the regular one. So I took 2 of these ribbons to give him more ribbon of the traveling arrow that comes out of there. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, an unloved figure. Happy to have her. Gamora, of course, my only Gamora. And I don't have a Drax. I'm short a Drax. I need Drax. Rabbit and Groot. We are Groot. This is the second release of Star-Lord, but I put him into the first appearance outfit that came with that second release Star-Lord. And Thor from Avengers Infinity War. Looks really cool. You can light them up. These will light up if you put the batteries in them. And they glow with the UV light. And behind them is Loki. My only Loki, real Loki. Starry Soldiers and Foot Soldiers, Commanders and Foot Soldiers. I think I got a deal on these. I think they're like less than $100 a piece. So I got 4 of them. And the Thanos from Guardians of the Galaxy on his throne. It doesn't really fit real well, but he works. Lady Deaths. Ended up buying 2 of those by accident. I'm happy to have them. Love my Feist and Lady Deaths. Love, 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 love them. As well as my Vampirellas. The SHC, the Asian body, and the I forget what the last one was, but they look really good. Rally they do. Rally. Got a Bumblebee in the way of Thanos and the Mark 50 down there, and he really would like to be able to display that better with the Guardians down there. Teen Groot and Rabbit, little baby Groot in a cage. Works well. And then, of course, the helicopter blade Thanos. Oh my goodness, what happened over here? So it looks like Black Widow and Hawkeye decided to shove each other off the cliff. Black Widow's taking the dive. Hawkeye couldn't stop her. And there's the Soul Ghost, Red Skull. That Deadpool shelf. So these are either Deadpools or related Deadpools or related to Deadpool. So we have Colossus from the second Deadpool movie. And I have Deathstroke, which, as far as I'm concerned, is an alternate universe Deadpool. Those of us that know that Deadpool was a total ripoff from Deathstroke, DC's character. So that's the Asylum, Arkham Asylum Deathstroke. But he's a Deadpool. And so since I'm a Deadpool collector, he belongs on the Deadpool shelf. Because who are these other Deadpools? Alternate reality Deadpools. So you got Kid Deadpool there. You got Pikachu Deadpool. Lady Deadpool, or Lady Katana was what that figure was called from the third-party manufacturer. Got a squirrel pool down there. Got a little squirrel pool. A couple of dog pools. Of course, we have Casual Wade holding all the junk that comes from associated whatnots. The Dusty Deadpool, one of the things that I absolutely had to do when I bought this was to swap out that belt buckle. Because in the movie Deadpool 2, when he gets covered in all the ash, the belt buckle is still shiny. The one that they give you is covered in ash. So I had to swap that out. That was some work. And there's Deadpool. First Deadpool with a third-party head sculpt. And a chibi pool. And a couple of head pools right there. Sideshow Deadpool. And Colossus from the first Deadpool movie, holding the severed hand, giving him the finger. If you can see that. Right there. There's the Deadpool shelf. All the way up there, the Black Panther. I love that purple shine from the UV on there. Without that light on that, the figure is really bland. Right next to him is King T'Chaka. And there we have King T'Challa on the throne and Shuri. I would love to see some more Black Panther cast members made, for fact. And here's my War Machine. Let's assume he has a Hall of Armor as well. So we have a Mark II. And then the War Machine Mark II, an Iron Patriot. And then the War Machine Mark II, New Avengers. War Machine Mark III, and War Machine Mark IV. There never was a Mark V that was seen or even referenced. They went right to Mark VI. So maybe we'll see a Mark V in one of the backwards movies that they're making. Who knows? And down here we have Mark 43 with Hulkbuster, and behind him is the Iron Man Mark I version 2.0, non-diecast. So the diecast has not been announced on that yet. It'll be coming. And the AOU, Armor Unleashed, War Machine Iron Man Mark II back there. And I don't have a Mark III in here. And this is the Mark IV. I don't remember which one. I think it's the one that was released with the Disney that was opening up in Shanghai. And then we have a plastic Mark V, Mark VI, which I think also is from the Disney Shanghai, and a plastic Mark VII. So these are all the plastic figures here. And here we have the Mark 41 Bones, exploded out. Different Tonys. Avenger suit. That's the Mark 100 body on this in his camo. I like that body. And the white wedding suit Tony with the Black Widow from Civil War. Pepper Potts. The only pepper we have. I'd like to see some peppers being made. And here's a mech test. And of course, that's not exactly how he looked in the movie in regards to what pieces of armor he was wearing at this point in the movie. Here we have Agent Phil Coulson. Remember, Tony didn't even know he had a name, right? And here's the Hall of Armor. The wine cellar. Mark 9, which is what they told us was the figure, the suit that Pepper was using to destroy Adrian. It is not the suit she actually uses, the Mark 8. That has a satin finish to it. It's a really good looking suit. And that's a custom head sculpt that I made. It did not come with a head sculpt whatsoever. Mark 15 Retro. So originally it was a black and gold. Or black and silver. The Mark 20 Python. Mark 21 Midas. The plastic version. Chrome. So this is the second release of the Mark 21. One of my favorite figures right there. That Mark 21 Chrome. We have the diecast coming. It's going to be another variant shade of that. Mark 22 Hot Rod, one of the first die-cast figures that Hot Toys made. And Mark 23 Shades. Really cool looking figure. I've got him on this base from the Mark 1 bases he's on. And behind here we got the Mark 24 tank. It's the exact same thing as the Mark 17 Heartbreaker. Came with a couple of these little bitty guys and a chest repulsor. Mark 25, Mark 26, you have Thumper and Gamma. Pretty neat, heavy construction suits. Pretty neat, those suits. 25, 26, 27, Disco, and 36, Peacekeeper. And right back here we have the Mark 41 Retro, red and gold. And they make the red and gold because some collectors don't care for Iron Man suits that aren't red and gold. Here we have the Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Scarlet Spider, and Negative Suit Spidey. Hanging out here because there's no place to put them yet. Same thing with Mark 38 Igor, or Igor. Thor Ragnarok Hulk, Dragon Slayer Centipede, Thor Ragnarok, and Obadiah. So to get this Obadiah, I used my, what was he called? Ironmonger. Came with the head sculpt, so you could lift him up and see him sitting in a bust of that. And I bought the suit and made him a figure. Kit bash that. All the way up here we have the House Party Protocol as they appeared in Iron Man 3. Mark 17 was the first one to show up, and each one of them then appeared in that manner. So that's the lineup that we see them as they go on. Of course, on the left, Mark 21 Midas. This suit is sometimes confused as the Mark 20 Python. That's why we got the Mark 20 Python released to us. We don't see the Mark 20 Python. I don't even think it's even a screen scene armor. But with this armor is shown, people thought it was the Mark 20 Python, and that's what we got. But it's actually the Mark 21 Midas. So that's the original Midas there. Mark 30 Blue Steel. Mark 15 Sneaky. Really cool little armor. Mark 33 Silver Centurion. Mark 39 Star Boost. Mark 17 Heartbreaker. Mark 40 Shotgun. Another really cool armor. Mark 35 Red Snapper. 27 Disco miniature there. Very valuable shelf right here. Mark 3 Stealth diecast. Plastic. No, diecast. Mark 3 Stealth, I think, is diecast. Mark 4 Hologram. And the Mark 4 Gunmetal. Mark 3, I think, was a secret project. Mark 4 Neon Tech. Mark 6 diecast. And Mark 6 Neon Tech. And here's the Mark 7s. A couple of stealths or chocolates. And then the Arctic or white chocolate. And 2 diecast Mark 7s in various configurations. Nice thing about the Mark 7 is you can display him in various configurations. I like the Mark 7. If you're only buying one, Mark 7, Mark 47, Mark 46, Mark 50, can't go wrong with any of those. So we have, as they're going through, 9, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 36, 41, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. So that's the madness here. 45, 46 concept, 46, 47. Mark 5, confrontation with Whiplash at Monaco with the exploding suit. That's the diecast. And this is the plastic. They've re-released the diecast. So if you missed that, jump on it. You will not be disappointed. Probably one of the finest crafted Iron Man suits. Nebula's up here with Ant-Man right now because I don't have a place to put her. This is the Ant-Man shelf. Can't get Wasp up here either because she's taller than the shelf. This was a bookshelf, not designed for figures originally. Terrible rendition of these figures here. Hate this. Hate it. I'm glad to get rid of that for on the cheap. Ant-Man and Wasp little things here. Little bitty Ant-Man down there. Really good rendition of the 1/12 Ant-Man there. Hot Toys Ant-Man looks nice. The 1/9 scale King Arts Yellow Jacket. Nebula, of course. And then the Ant-Man from Ant-Man. I like that. 1/12, 1/9 King Arts, which is crap. And 1/6 Hot Toys right there. Captain America shelf. Johann Schmidt, old uber bad guy. Took lots of figures, a lot of DID figures in order to make that. But that's faithfully recreated of him from the movie. The only thing he's missing is his leather coat. And then we have Red Skull. Prototype Captain America, Peggy, in a Fison body, looking hot. Cap, Civil War. And a kit-bashed Loki. Bought the suit. And then I bought a Hot Toys Loki head sculpt to put that together. The suit came with the cane. That's the only way you got that cane. Hot Toys never made that. And here we are on one of the Star Wars shelves. Rey I bought only because she came with BB-8. BB-8 was who I was after. The one on the right is the original BB-8. One on the left is a second BB-8. The Gonk Droid. Jawa R5. I really like the hologram Hot Toys did of Princess Leia. And then the Hot Toys diecast R2-D2. TC-13 prototype droid. Sideshow C-3POs. I don't think Hot Toys has made one yet. And an original General Mills C-3PO back there. A couple of Sideshow R2-D2s. A couple of Hot Toys R2-D2s. So the Hot Toys ones are this one, the Ultimate R2-D2, and this one, the beeping R2-D2. This has got practically everything on him. I think the only thing he doesn't have is like the jump jets on his arms. And these two are the same figure. It's just one's like called the special edition, the other one's called the exclusive edition or something. Both from Sideshow. The rest of the Star Wars shelf down here. Metacon Stormtrooper, some El Cheapo Stormtroopers, the BB-9, Mouse Droid, whatever the heck that droid is that came with the Stormtroopers. I'm sorry, I don't remember what these Imperial droids are called. C2B5, R2J, something RJ, whatever. And then we have the supposed Ralph McQuarrie prototype when it's not. It's just an R2-D2 that they washed in gray. That's cool. Gotta dig it. And then I've got the protocol droid holding his stuff. Then we got the QMX Jean-Luc Picard. Thank you, supporters, for sending him to me. A freebie. I love him. And laying down his crossbones that needs to be fixed. They have a new crossbones. AI Toys, I think, made that. Fison shelf. Poison. Lover. Lover. What can I say? Secret Agent. The new anime style body for Fison. And then we have Scarlet Witch in a bikini. Daphne and Velma from Scooby. A couple of Fison figures there. Look really good. Nier Automata. All right. Love how she looks. Turned out really nice. We've got Star Ace, I think, made this. Leonidas. Got him with the slave girl. I think that's a Jow doll. Slave girl there. Punisher War Machine. I missed the gosh darn Punisher from Netflix. Really need that. That's a huge holy grail for me. And Daredevil right there. Evidently, we've got more of the Mandarin coming shortly. There was this little, I think it was a 20-minute video, may have only been 10-minute video. It's called Hail to the King or something to that effect, which kind of carried on the story after Iron Man 3. They really did Mandarin wrong, and they're trying to straighten that out. And I think the movie that's coming out is going to straighten all of that out. But Ben Kingsley did an amazing job portraying him. My wife automatically recognized him. I had no idea who he was, but she's like, "Oh my God, that's Ben Kingsley." And anytime my wife is excited about anything that has to do with Marvel characters, I'm really pleased. So we got stand down there with some associated stuff. We got him holding on to a Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, and he's pitching and selling the Spider-Man suit. They all fit, no refunds ever. And then we have the Iron Legion in various pieces becoming Ultron. And they never gave us the one that they prototyped us, and they never made the other 4. So I've seen a couple of people who have had them customized, but the painting on that is such a beautiful reflective pearl white. It's definitely nothing I could do in regards to customizing those figures. And there's the shelves, the boxes of all the associated parts that go with all the figures. Right there. Something I skipped over here. There's the arms that go to Doctor Strange. I need to get another Doctor Strange for that. There's a Mark 42 that I made. Cut the head sculpt open because he's empty. He doesn't come that way. I've made that. And right over here, we have a Mark 4 enjoying his donut and coffee at Randy's Donuts. You have to have super glue. You need glue. If you're a Hot Toys collector, you are going to be gluing something back sooner or later. No doubt about that. And up here we have some Bumblebees. Of course, I have a 1-to-1 scale Bumblebee. 2010 Chevrolet Camaro 2SSR SCTH edition, officially licensed Hasbro product. It is a giant toy that I get to drive, and I enjoy it, and I love it. And I take it to car shows, but due to COVID, there's been no car shows. And then, of course, the invaluable DVD collection, because, you have to have all your videos on DVDs, and now we don't even watch them on those anymore. So there you have it. The room tour. See if I can catch any of the notes that you guys sent. Come on, camera. Straighten up. Wow, what did I do? Turned around. The magic. If I didn't spend money on toys, I could buy things like tripods that actually worked. Do you buy a tripod that works, or do you buy a toy? You're buying the toy. We need a tripod that works for. Yeah, Vision would be great. I'd like to have a handful of them, actually. Thank you very much. WandaVision, I will be watching that. I have not. Yondu is great. I'm glad I got 2 of those. Tony Body Light isn't that great. Really. Great collection. Could spend days admiring it. And I do. I love just coming out here and finding my center, being in the midst of them. And I've zoomed in on this somehow. That's fine. I enjoy just coming in here and finding my center. So It's a good place to zen out and just take the relax and the chill and just enjoy and look at each one of these in their related pose and be reminded of a scene from a movie or something that just speaks to me, and take great satisfaction in that. And so that's one of the things I can't stress enough. Buy a figure because you have an attachment to it. Don't just buy the figure unless you can make some money on it. But if you don't have an emotional attachment to it, you're going to resent owning that figure the entire time you have it. You're going to wish you hadn't spent $100, $200, $400, whatever it was you spent on the thing, and you're going to resent it. So buy the figures that have some sort of attachment to you so that you can find your zen with that. Thank you, Jay. Great collection. Good spend days. Toys Wonderland, Hong Kong just canceled my order for white wedding suit Tony yesterday. So I guess they won't be making any more of those. I'm glad that I got that. It's a great one. And like I said, it came with the MK100 light for that, which I put into the other Tony because you really can't see that in there. So benefited me better in the camo Tony. So that's interesting that they don't have any more of those. Which body model number did you use to customize Peggy? I can tell you that. Peggy is the PLMB 2014 SO2A suntan. So the SO2A PLMB medium bust 2A suntan. Ray also same figure. Near Automata SO4B pale. My Mary Jane over here is the SO6B suntan. My Poison is the SO7C pale. Wanda that we have over here in the bikini is the SO9C. I've been told that my Mantis is coming. So she's been on order for like 3 years. That will be at S12D. So we'll finally get the Mantis. Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat over here, is the S23B suntan. The Spider Ghost, which is one of the Spider Gwens, is on an S25B suntan. Daphne from Velma and Daphne Scooby-Doo is the S35A suntan. And the Spider Ghost is S36 over here. Another one. I don't think that one fits as well. Little skinny for her. Velma is the S39A. Little large breast, plump body. And the Slave Girl over here is a Jow Doll New Wheat big steel seamless bodied triple D breast figure. And that is what Fisons I have put where. Right there, in case you're curious. That's my Fisons. Or Jow Dolls, however you say that one. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've about talked out. Is there anything else that y'all want to talk about? Anything whatsoever? If not, I'm going to wrap this up, let you guys go. See you next Saturday, where we will be doing, I told you last week we would be doing this week, but we didn't. We did these. We're going to get this. I will see you guys later. Have a good week. I'm not answering the phone. Go away, sales call. Peace, man. That was Brianna taking a dive.